Eric Bradley, sitting here live at Master Boxing Studios. And one thing that you guys who've never watched my channel know is that I covered the world of boxing. But this particular topic, and this topic is more like an event, because the totality that it leaves behind in conversation is just like a war, a battle zone. It will never end. But with this conversation and with this tidbit added to the conversation, it minimizes the carnage, because it's a point that most people have not brought to fruition, and I felt compelled to do that. So for those who watch me for the boxing, commentating, the breakdowns, and the matchups, I apologize. Just respect my angle today, because this is important and it's a part of history. And a lot of these sports cross-train into the sport of boxing. So we're going to break into this question that people are overlooking right now. Everybody's compelled to think of or compare Michael Jordan and LeBron James. Let me let you know, and let me tell you an angle that most people are not seeing it from. And this angle is, you're looking at the statistics. You're looking at the achievements, which we know is obvious that Michael Jordan has more championships, has more accomplishments. Even Kobe Bryant, when you look at it like this, which is pretty much a replica of Michael Jordan. Basically saying, Jordan, if you had the legs and the physical ability still, you'd won 11 championships instead of just 6. Because I won 5, speaking of Kobe Bryant. Now, if you think about it, it's kind of real. Now, let me back this up, because I want every one of you to stay close to your screen on this. There's nothing else out there right now that's going to be more yummy than this topic that I'm about to break into. Now, we look at Michael Jordan and LeBron James, and you're trying to compare, and there's not even a comparison in numbers and achievements right now. But you're looking at the fact that he's just 30 years old. He has plenty more years left. He's already been on he's been in an organization once, left, went to another organization, won championships and gone back, and possibly can win another one. Okay. Now it's going to get real. Michael Jordan did not just transcend an era in basketball. Excuse my French. Michael Jordan just did not take numbers and open floodgates for guys like LeBron James and Kobe Bryant to get those $100 million contracts. He didn't just open that door where the guys like Magic Johnson and Larry Bird really pivoted around, so passionate about the game. They weren't just focused on the numbers. That's where you got guys like Michael Jordan. When those guys in that era, they were so passionate about attacking each other. None of those guys got the kind of numbers that they could have gotten if they were focused on being greedy and thinking self. All those guys wanted to beat each other. Michael Jordan came into the game, into the sport, and he was playing against the Larry Birds, the Magic Johnsons, the Cavaliers, the Detroit Pistons. He was getting mauled back in the days. And this isn't going to go far off topic, but these things are points and they have to be spoken on, because we are looking at LeBron James, and it's always easier to look at the guy that you're in the era of and say, wow, he has to be better than these other guys. But when it's all said and done, this is what you guys are overlooking. You're constantly having a question. The conversation is LeBron James' accomplishments, or is LeBron James better than Michael Jordan? First and foremost, there were never any questions about Michael Jordan, opposed to what his game was. You knew what it was: slasher dash shooter dash game closer. Heart of a lion, ate like a gorilla, and attacked his prey like a white shark, a great white shark, that is. He had no malice. He had nothing but malice in his heart, and that's how he approached the game. Now when you look at LeBron James, and the key point is still coming. It's just such a huge topic. Maybe I should have diced it into just topics and not in generalizations. But when it's all said and done, this is about the basketball cachet of two of the greatest who've ever done it and how they match up. The biggest and the most important question that people have been overlooking in this conversation is not, is LeBron better, or is he going to be greater than Michael Jordan? But is he great enough to make people forget Michael Jordan and the other greats that played the game? You know why I asked that? Because that's what Michael Jordan did. He didn't just open the floodgates for the financial purses of these basketball players in the modern day. Michael Jordan was so great, he made you forget Pistol Pete's accomplishments. He made you overlook that Bill Russell has 11 championships. And he took the crown as being the greatest. Because if you're going to do it on achievements, well, it's obvious that Bill Russell had 11 championships. Of course, he's the greatest. But Michael Jordan was so great in his stint and his run that he made people forget that argument altogether. Except for the 65 to 70-year-old demographic. And they were present during Bill Russell's run. So they saw greatness. Was the game as big as it is now? Absolutely not. But these are the key points that people are actually forgetting to talk about. And that's why you're looking at the camera right now like, holy moly. Is LeBron James great enough to make people forget Michael Jordan? Because let me explain this. You will agree, regardless of what you leave in the comment box, that Michael Jordan, before 1996-97 run, which was him closing his years out, had people forgotten. They had forgotten about the likes of Dr. J. The people that came up in my era saw the end of Dr. J's career. So it wasn't even a conversation that Michael Jordan eclipsed Dr. J by a landslide, regardless of the footage that you see of Dr. J. In all reality, people clearly knew that Michael Jordan was better, not just an accomplishment, but who do you want on your team? Dr. J had great numbers and all that, but towards the end of Dr. J's career, he looked nothing like the guy that you wanted on your team. This is not a knock on Dr. J. We're just talking about him compared to Michael Jordan. And Michael Jordan's final series with the Bulls, he won a championship game. Closed it out. He was playing at an optimal level even at the end, at 38. Now, he came back and played with the Wizards. He still put up numbers. He was still about the top 10 in the league. That was not quite the repertoire of Dr. J. When Dr. J was closing his career out, he looked like it was time to close his career out. So you stop even comparing him to Dr. J. Think about this, people. This is the sport. When you look at Michael Jordan, there were never any questions. You can look at his missed shots, game closes. You still never question that what he did, 83% of it was just so perfect that you couldn't even look and equate that other stuff. But with LeBron James, there were so many questions, from him being a closer, for him not really having the heart, for him not wanting to carry the team on his back, for him at one time not having the inside presence, being 6'8", 6'9", 260, whatever his weight would be at that time. Because with the muscle density of this guy, he was just a tree. And Shaq, as Shaq was a tree, when he was really at that beast mode, he was unstoppable in the paint. So people question LeBron's IQ inside. He had the IQ sort of like Magic Johnson when it came to passing, distributing the ball, and being a ring general on the court. But when it was all said and done, would he end up great enough to make you out there watching forget Michael Jordan? Answer the question. They call me the Fight Doctor, and I thank you guys for watching my show, because you're now watching Master Boxing. And this is where we break the fight world down, round by round. Stay tuned and watch me break down LeBron James versus Stephen Curry, and Stephen Curry against the past greats. That post will be absolute flame. Thanks again for watching. Peace.